Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on The Road to El Dorado. Now, as you know, The Road to El Dorado is a 2000 animated film and was meant to be the third feature film produced by DreamWorks. Now, The Road to El Dorado, I would say, is a film that definitely earned its cult following, from the memes, the kind of YouTube videos, and numerous stuff. So the premise of the film is meant to take place in 1519, where we see how two kind-hearted con artists, Miguel and Tulio, win a map to the legendary city of gold, El Dorado, and we see how they manage to kind of get the map, and after a few mishaps, they end up on the ship of Cortez. And we kind of see how they manage to escape and slowly manage to find the road to El Dorado. And this is kind of like where we see how the residents of El Dorado think Miguel and Tulio are gods. And this is kind of like where we do kind of see how Miguel and Tulio are two of a kind, but do follow a path. I think Miguel is more that guy who does have a good heart and does want to do the right things. And I think he's pretty relatable. Like, you can tell he doesn't really want to kind of be something he's not, and really acts like a little kid would. He wants more of an adventure, and when he does get the adventure, he thinks he's found what he wants, El Dorado. And I think the Pontillo does try to be the voice of reason to Miguel, and does try to be a good friend to him. I think the Pontillo is that he does take time to realise his mistakes, and does still want to do the right things. And I think for the most part, I would say, you do notice there's a lot of adult humour. I think when you kind of got one of the characters known as Chell, who's meant to be a native woman, what's interesting is that it's heavily implied that her character is meant to be a slave, as she wears revealing clothing, doesn't possess any gold on her, and when she does sit on a kind of sofa-like thing, it's kind of implied to be her sitting spot. And it's kind of implied when she does kind of get the gold earrings, and she does say, well, I'm free, it's kind of her noting that her role of slave has now been done. And I kind of feel, for the most part, when you kind of got like, the kind-hearted chief of El Dorado, Chief Tonabok, as well as the High Priest Sucker Khan, I think there's a difference between them. I think Sutter Khan is more of a guy who wants to keep with traditions and wants to do human sacrifices, and doesn't show any concern or care for anyone. I think the point of Chief Tonabak does kind of realise that Miguel and Tilo aren't really gods, but does show them respect, as they know they're good people and don't really want to mean any harm. I think for the most part, I would say the road to El Dorado really does capture the imagination. You get to see the city, you get to see the locations. And I think for the most part, I would say is that I know there was meant to be a planned film series, but really, I don't think we really needed it, because I just think the film ended on a good note. We did see Chell finally free from El Dorado as a slave. We do see Miguel and Tulio realising what's more important, and then trying to set things right. I think the point of El Dorado is that there is a bit of a message, that sometimes the goals you're after will always make you realise what's more important, and that sometimes your friendship with someone is more important than a few trinkets. And I think, to me, Road to El Dorado definitely deserves its cult following. If you're a fan of the typical adult humour, and if you're a fan of the memes and so on, then this is definitely your movie. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.